Respect, I have not seen a quarterback prospect like this in my life. 4.30. 4.30 with elite throw power. What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden 22 realistic rebuild, and it's probably the big one that's left, the one that is going to require the most work. We've gone on a great string of winning Super Bowls. Now we're just going to put all the tests here, because today we are rebuilding the Houston Texans, arguably the worst team in Madden 22. These are updated Madden 22 rosters. It is post 2022 NFL draft. I'm excited with the players and talent that the Houston Texans have brought in, but there's still a lot of work to do. So let's take a look here at our roster, starting on the offensive line, where it's, it's not bad. They got Kendrick Green coming in with a 73 star dev. Rookie out of Texas A&M, some versatility there. You can play him at guard, you can play him at tackle. Obviously, Larry Tunsil has established himself as a franchise left tackle. Outside of that, we got some journeymen. Titus Howard's kind of, still wait and see a little bit. He was a high draft pick. But as it stands, the left-hand side of the O-line looks pretty good. They have Brevin Jordan at tight end still. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this team with normal devs, but they're on the right side of 25. So all it's going to take is a nice little dev trade roll of the dice to go in our favor for a couple of these players. And this team can look a lot more promising, if you will. We have Brandon Cooks, who's pretty much one of the few quarterback-proof wide receivers in the NFL. Who's like, it doesn't matter who his quarterback is, he will get 1,000 yards. I'm going to go with Nico Collins and John Mechie as like my next two up at wide receiver. Mechie will go in the slot, the rookie Canadian wide receiver out of Alabama. And then we get Nico Collins, who is a second-year player out of Michigan. 6'4", height, weight, speed, 6'4", 215, 90 speed. He's always one of those underrated players that I actually have yet to play with in Madden 22, but he was always a guy that kind of gave me off like a little bit Quez Watkins vibes as far as like his skill set and his ratings being incredibly slept on. We're going to go Davis Mills as QB1 this season. Did he do enough as a rookie in real life to have any Texan fans confident with his development, with him being the guy? Probably not. But you also got to remember, like, he was a 5-star recruit that didn't play a whole lot at Stanford, so maybe, he takes a step here. There's a chance. I wouldn't say it's fair to completely write off Davis Mills, but it's also fair to assume that most likely the Texans will be looking for a quarterback sooner than later. I'm going with a little bit Gator bias and how I kind of think the running back room will play out, and Damian Pierce out of Florida, who's obviously, again, Gator bias, but during the draft process was my most underrated running back from the 2022 NFL draft. We're going to have him be our RB1 with a fairly nice, the ratings here, I wasn't going to disagree with, I'm using like the top Madden roster. I wasn't going to disagree too much with the rating. I kind of kept them as be. So Kendrick Green, 73 star, Damian Pierce, 72 normal, John Mechie getting a 70. And then taking a look here on the defensive side of the ball, the front four, John Grenard, Gator bias, if you will. He's awesome. He was a really good pick when they brought him out. We got Blacklock, Collins, and Jerry Hughes on the D-line. Not a lot of stars, not a lot of playmakers. Jerry Hughes is the best of the bunch, and he's a veteran on the downside at this point in his career. We have Camus Grugier-Hill, who's solid. We're going to go Christian Harris, who's a 70 rookie out of Alabama, and Blake Cashman for our linebacking core. We got Eric Murray, who's serviceable. We got Jalen Pitre, which was one of my favorite players. He probably was the guy from the 2022 draft. Jalen Pitre, absolute monster, can do everything. Play safety, can play linebacker, and cover the slot. I think he's going to be an excellent player, 71 star dev there. Then we got Des King, Steven Nelson, the King, versatile DB, can play corner, can play safety. Steven Nelson was really solid for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then they kind of shocked everyone, selecting Derek Stingley with their first pick in the 2022 NFL draft. It's not really, from a skill set, from a gamble standpoint, you kind of got to appreciate it. The ceiling is sky high for Derek Stingley, and I think he's going to be very good for us in this rebuild. I think the debate is like, does he get superstar? Or just keep him at a star dev in Madden 23. But overall, very young roster. Again, it's all going to be kind of about, can we get a couple dev trade scenarios to roll our way? And dev trade scenarios do tend to roll when you have a lot of normal dev players playing a lot of snaps, which is what we're going to be having. So it's going to be definitely really fun over the first year or two to see how many guys we can bump up their dev trade. But before we go into year number one, we need to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor. PrizePicks is an easy way to play daily fantasy and is available in most US states and Canadian provinces. You pick 2 and 5 players and an over-under on the projections with a ton of stats. We're going to focus on the NBA playoffs, the epic Game 7 matchup tonight between the Heat and the Celtics. They also have a promo within the promo. Not only do you get a 100% deposit match up to $100 by using promo code C4, you also get this nice little promo here for Jason Tatum. All he has to do is make a single bucket, and it will count for you. So I'm going to go Jason Tatum. I'm going to go Jimmy Butler. I'm going to take both the overs here. I think Jimmy Bucket's going to have a big game. The max you could go is 25 because of the Tatum promo. You got to hit 2 of 2, but this is as safe as it gets. Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, let's freaking go. So a big shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check the link in the description below. Use my promo code and get in on the action. We have our first breakout scenario. It's kind of, it was a little unexpected. It was Malik Collins, former Dallas Cowboy D-tackle. At this point though, even though it's not necessarily the player that we'd want, we're 2-1, kind of off to a surprise start. We'll take any normal to star dev increases we can get. So it's Buffalo, pretty close game, 28-21, fall to 2-2, but did Collins do enough? And he did. Awesome. Malik Collins, now a star dev D-tackle. Let's take a look at our contracts, and we also have a massive scenario here for our quarterback breakout. But let's look at the contracts first ahead of our Week 9 matchup. We have we got a lot of salary cap. Now, I'm looking at more so players that are playing a lot this season that could go up depth rate. One's Blake Cashman. I just can't pay that unless he gets star depth. Like, if I'm paying $24 million for a 73 overall, he needs to have at least a star depth. So I got to wait and see there for actually a lot of these guys. Don't need Marlon Mack because we're going Dameon Pierce. Really, I'm not signing anybody. We're gonna have a probably very expensive free agency period. But first, I mean, we gotta take a look here at this breakout scenario. Davis Mills is coming off a stellar game. Is he probably taking the next step? I mean, that would be huge. He's a 71 overall right now. So we throw 1 or fewer interceptions and 300 scrimmage yards or 3 total touchdowns. Davis Mills gets up to a star dev, and it's a doable matchup against the Dolphins. 4-4, which actually kind of surprising that the Texans are 4-4. And we get the dub 31-29. And coach, thoughts on how you got a Davis Mills? I don't know. That doesn't sound good. That does not sound like we, no. Damn. So at the end of year 1, honestly, a very surprising season. We came last place in the South, which was kind of expected, but 8-9. 8 wins for the Tech. I was thinking 4-5, maybe, being generous, but 8 wins, which puts some stock into, there's a theory right now that in the sim, if you have a very good left tackle, and I'm not saying this is true, I'm just throwing it out there. I've heard people say that when you have a really good left tackle, you tend to play really well in the sim. It's something that weighs in the sim. Could be wrong. Could be just literally something I read once from some guy made something up in the comments. But that has been something that's been said, and that is literally like our best player is our left tackle, and we got probably 3-4 wins minimum more than I would have expected. A top 10 offense, top 10 passing offense, almost a top 10 rushing offense, almost a top 10 passing defense. So shout out to Derek Stingley and company, as it was a competitive division. Look at the big picture. I don't think we're gonna have anybody there, but I think we had a couple guys that had great seasons for sure. I saw a couple big statty lines there for, look at Davis Mills, 8th in passing yards, 4,700 passing yards, 30 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 63% completion percentage. Those are, quite frankly, absurd numbers for a quarterback that was, 69 normal starting the year. And I know Dameon Pierce had some big years. Oh my God, yeah. I saw a couple big stat lines there for Dameon Pierce. A couple games over $150, 1,400 rushing yards, 19 touchdowns for the rookie at a 4. That might be offensive rookie of the year. I mean, Davis Mills also counts as a rookie because obviously it's just a modified roster. So we have multiple players. I'll be shocked, put it this way, if offensive rookie of the year isn't a member of the Houston Texans. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns for Cooks, 11-7 for Collins, 10,009 for John Mechie as a rookie, 8-4 for Breven Jordan. It's just, there's something that's changed in the sim. I don't know what, it was up to the last patch, but it does feel like every season now, over the last 5-6 rebuilds, I'm having like 2-3 guys go over 1,000 yards regardless of team. And I mean, maybe I was thinking that maybe it did come down to the teams that we have been using. We've been using a lot, for the most part, really talented teams, but this is supposed to be the hardest rebuild, and we have a very prolific offense. On the defensive side of things, Blake Cashman, 120 tackles, Again, if he goes up dev trade, I'll throw him a contract extension. We had 11.5 sacks, Jerry Hughes, 8.5 Malik Collins, who went up star dev, 6.5, as well as 17 TFLs for John Grenard. All acceptable numbers on that D-line. And in the secondary, 2 picks, Steven Nelson. Derek Stingley had 88 tackles and 1 interception in his rookie season. So a quick look at the yearly awards. Again, the rookies are going to look a little skewed because it's 2 classes of rookies in one. But for the AFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Lamar Jackson. Davis Mills coming in at number 9. Defensive Player of the Year went to Von Miller. And for Offensive Rookie of the Year, wow, it went to Trevor Lawrence. Davis Mills at 2. Dameon Pierce at 3. John Mechie at 9. Nico Collins at 10. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to J.O.K. of the Cleveland Browns. And then for the rest of these individual awards, yeah, I don't think we're going to see any Houston Texans. But a very successful season, top 5 offense. I'm still probably going to look, if there is a quarterback, I probably will draft them in this upcoming draft. But we saw enough of the Davis Mills that maybe there's something there. I think it will be interesting when they get to the end of the season, how many guys go up dev just based off of their performance. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll get into the offseason. So let's take a little peek here. Like, off the top of my head, I think Davis Mills should go up dev. Dameon Pierce should go up dev. Davis Mills did not go up dev trade, but Dameon Pierce did. I'll take that. At least one of our star offensive rookies has got up and made the Pro Bowl. That certainly helps. Kind of surprised. I mean, I figure the amount of the stat. I don't know. Did he make the Pro Bowl or anything like that? No, that's probably why. So let's deal again. It just makes it that much more apparent that if there is like a sick quarterback available, maybe we pull the trigger. But Dameon Pierce went up dev trade. That's pretty cool. I thought, you know, Mechie maybe had a chance there. On the defensive side, Blake Cashman did go up dev trade, so we need to take a look at a contract extension. John Grenard went from normal to star. Malik Collins, who went from normal to star in season, goes from star to superstar in the offseason. Sure, I mean, he's 27. How did this happen? It's just one of those random ones that you just generously get. I will take it for the state of our roster. So really all we're going to do is re-sign Blake Cashman and go into this free agent period with $1 trillion and looking to improve our roster. All right, so we're going to take a look here at Blake Cashman. I'm going to offer 3 years, $20 million for the new star dev, and he takes it. Beautiful. Great way to start the offseason. I have $96 million worth of salary cap. There's not one player I want to sign. This is one of the worst free agency classes I have ever seen. There's junk. Absolute junk at every position. Nothing at wide receiver. Tight end. Like, there's like... I would say, like, usually there's 1 or 2 guys. Like, there's one guy that even looked remotely interesting. And it was on the back end here. It's like, I've signed a bunch of times. Ronnie Harrison Jr., star dev 25. Would be an upgrade, but like, I literally think I've signed him in like 5 rebuilds. So I want to do something a little different. Not go, you know, let's get someone a little different back there. I get on 5 times minimum. Maybe I've signed Ronnie Harrison more. So I'm just gonna keep my money, and hopefully next year is a ridiculous free agent period. It has like, you know, maybe get Scary Terry, a couple X Factors out there, and we can sign them at will with all this carryover salary cap. So if we're gonna land a big impact playmaker this offseason, it's gonna have to come through the draft. We have a 5th-year option to talk about. That is Titus Howard at right tackle. He's like a 73 normal at this point, and it's absolutely not going to be worth it picking up a massive option year. We want to keep him. We'll get him like a 5-year extension. We have a 5th-year option to talk about. That is Titus Howard at right tackle. He's like a 73 normal at this point, and it's absolutely not going to be worth it picking up a massive option year. We want to keep him. We'll get him like a 5-year extension. All right, so I was like looking, I got a good short list. This looks actually like a really good, even though I like Breven Jordan, there's some really, really sick looking tight ends. Both these 2 guys look like they could be absolute studs. I just think we're in a time now in the rebuilds when there's something that looks like a unicorn, talks like a unicorn, it might be a unicorn. It's not quarterback, because we talked about no dev trade for Davis Mills. He played well in this scheme, but I'm just going to make the assumption that Davis Mills plays well in this scheme. Any decent quarterback will play well in this scheme. We have Pete Monroe, 1st-round quarterback. Brad Bryant, 1st-round quarterback. But I'm looking at this thing, and I call it a thing with full-on respect. I have not seen a quarterback prospect like this in my life. I would assume if you showed me this, someone sent me a picture of what I'm about to show you, I'd be like, someone went in, modified that draft pick. I've never seen that. Tyquan Adams, out of Michigan State, 6'1", 210. Got the C accuracy mid. You know, seems a little bit of a bummer. 4-3-0. 4-3-0 with elite throw power. This is Lamar. I've not seen a quarterback run this fast of a 40. I've seen 4-3-6. I've seen 4-4s. I've not seen almost a 4-2-0 quarterback. I just feel like, why not? Normal dev, whatever. If he has like 57 mid accuracy, whatever. But when you see a unicorn like this, you don't think, you act. So with the first pick for the Houston Texans in 2023, pick 17 overall, we're going to select this unicorn, Tyquan Adams. And what do we got here? It's normal dev, 95 speed, 95. I don't care about the dev trait. I have never seen a quarterback like this. And, oh my God, that's just, we don't really have a whole lot there. A awareness. I don't care. Unicorn, we have our project quarterback. Normal dev, I give him 2 years in our scheme. He's getting up to a superstar. I had no doubts about it. 90. Have you ever seen a quarterback like this? I have not. Wow. What a player. We're going to call this the freak draft. Here's another freak. Middle linebacker. Don't necessarily need him, but could still use him for one of our linebacking spots. Camus getting up there in age. He's 5'11", 239, 4.33. It's, you know, he's got to be good. I don't even, again, if there's no dev, he does have the dev, which is awesome, but we just got followed up a 90 whatever speed quarterback, the 91 speed linebacker with the hidden dev, Ross Gilmore out of Michigan. Just stay with the freaks, man. That's going to be the theme of this draft. We have Gavin Payne, 6'6", 243 tight end out of Mississippi State, catching traffic. We got 4.5 speed, first in the vert broad, 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle. Yeah, 6'6", 90 speed, or 90 acceleration story, 89 speed. It's what we do, man. We draft freaks. We're going to take the Matt Rule Baylor recruiting approach of just, we got all these players running a straight line, and we're just picking guys like Al Davis. Actually spent a lot of time scouting wide receivers, looking for just another guy. I'm going to trust our scouting here. We're in the 4th round. We have a guy that we scouted out to be a first, second round talent, Marcus Hitchens. Little, you know, he doesn't look, again, I feel like the last time I trusted this, it kind of burned me, but also that's worth showing that I got a 4th round player with a 1st round grade. Could be good. Fast. I mean, he looks like he should be solid. Maybe normal dev, maybe no hidden dev, but 94 speed, sure, I'll take it. All right, let's take a look at this recap. I mean, even though maybe slightly underwhelmed that this freak unicorn quarterback's normal dev, look at that draft class. Wow. I can't tell you right now. You always go tallest, heaviest punter is I didn't have a punter on my roster. And tallest, heavy, you've got 97 kick power. Accuracy is kind of the shits. But tall, heavy, the most mass at punter you could get tends to be the best player. Hitchens, our 1st round grade at maybe. I mean, none of these other guys were 1st round. Gable got 71. We trusted our scouting normal dev, but look at the speed, look at the catching. He'll probably see the field sooner than later. Gavin Payne, freaking nature tight end. I mean, I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much. If you guys were playing a franchise mode and you needed an upgrade potentially at the tight end spot, and you saw a guy that was 6'6", that was 1st in every one of his combine drills, you'd probably take him as well. So this one kind of fell into my lap. Happy that he did. Gilmore at linebacker again. You know, I wish I could be like, guys, I did proper scouting and I figured out, we did hard work and we unlocked what. No, just went for the combine. When you know what to look for in the combine, it doesn't always work. Sometimes actually you can get burned pretty bad. Like this Gilmore guy could have straight up had, 91 speed, 89 acceleration, and then like all his tackling stuff be like high 60s. I've seen that happen, but not in this draft class, man. This is gonna be one of our strongest draft class ever. And then the unicorn, even with the normal dev, I have never seen a quarterback this explosive, this athletic. I don't know. Maybe if you guys have seen one, absolutely tag me on Twitter. But 95 speed, 91 acceleration, 94 change of direction. To pair that with 85 throw on the run, 87 break sack, 95 throw power. Awesome, man. I'm glad that in this big, hard, supposed rebuild with the Houston Texans, we literally have a guy that's a freak of nature, but is going to take also a little bit of refining, a little bit of work to try to get him off that normal dev trait. But the sky is the limit for Tyquan Adams, a.k.a. Michael Vick regen, a.k.a. Lamar Jackson 2.0. So as we start year 2, I'm genuinely freaking pumped to get in this rebuild. Like the kind of time we get a prospect like our quarterback, freak of nature unicorn Adams, We get him like year 4, year 5 of rebuild. Like, there's never enough time to see where we can develop him. Or you get a guy like this and he's like ready-made. He's X factor, one and this guy here has an opportunity to be like, well, we have a one-of-one type quarterback, but he still needs a little bit of refinement, a little bit of work, and we get to try to, see him grow, see him develop in a scheme that Davis Mills put up very good numbers, almost top 10 like quarterback numbers in. So for that, let's go, man. We got a freaking ager at tight end. I'm all in on this Texans rebuild. I think this is the right time to do the rebuild. We got the right players. I don't even care if we don't make the playoffs this year. I just want to see growth. This is a long-term, year 5-ish type rebuild. I just want to see this rookie be electrifying. All right, so we're at the midway point of year 2. We're not looking too hot. There was a point in time the quarterback actually was playing fairly well. I mean, 6 in the yards, 7 in the touchdowns. I am thinking, though, come season end, maybe just given the style of our quarterback, could be just worth it for the quality of the rebuild to maybe move to like the Ravens playbook to maximize the skill set. I don't want a 95 speed quarterback just not running the ball. But that's, we're 2-6. That's kind of what happens when you go to a young rookie quarterback. I did not expect the team. Look, it's like one of those things. Like, is it the fact that we switched off Davis Mills? No, because our quarterback's still playing like a top 10 quarterback. Just a little disappointed that with the drop off everywhere else on the squad. Look at contracts here in terms of re-signing players. Well, we'll start with Malik Collins, who hit that superstar dev for us. Give him maybe a 3-year deal, looking around $16 million. Got him locked up. I think Des King also. That's a worthy contract, 3-year. 26 mil. We could probably let Steven Nelson hit the open market. And still, again, because we didn't spend a dime last offseason, we're going to have an insane amount of salary cap if there's worthwhile free agents worth signing here in this upcoming offseason. All right, we have a breakout scenario for our quarterback. I'm not one to be, especially year 2, but I feel like we have such a special player, I might just need to hop in here to get him up to that star depth. Throw 1 or fewer interceptions, 300 scrimmage yards to get Tyquan Adams up to a star. Let's go get that. Oh, let's take off. Here we go. There's score number 1 for Adams. Oh, go get it! I don't even know if I can get rushing touchdowns, but that counts towards it. He's just, oh my god, man. This guy's a superstar. Man, do I just take this in? Get the hat trick on the ground? Or we go to our 6'6" freak tight end here? Let's do it. I hope it's 3 total touchdowns. I don't remember if it was 3 passing touchdowns. Or if touchdowns were even a thing. It was 300 scrimmage yards, no turnovers? I don't know. Let's just keep dominating. Oh my god. Let's go. 4th rushing touchdown of the game. I gotta get these guys in like my main channel series here. Alright, wasn't the best game throwing the football, but we had 200 yards. Definitely 300 yards from scrimmage in a matchup that we had. Let's just see here. How do we see Texans rushing yards? 169, 5 touchdowns with Tyquan Adams, $135 and 2 for Dameon Pierce. I think we got the depth trait. Let's just confirm. I mean, there's a chance I might have missed it here, but I don't think. Big performance by Tyquan Adams. He's improving every week, obviously, and there we go. Tyquan Adams gets his star dev trait. So into the playoffs wasn't, just took a slight step back. Only a win difference, but look at the offense. Still keeps on churning. Our pass defense pretty much exactly the same as it was last year. So I think the fact that we made that quarterback switch and you didn't fall a year behind where we were from year 1. I definitely think that is a big time positive. And obviously the stats here for our quarterback can be slightly skewed from that 5 rushing touchdown game, but I still think he played very well, and his numbers are, you gotta remember, Davis Mills was playing like 7th, 8th, yards, touchdowns, and we're 6th and 4th here for Tyquan Adams. 4,800 passing yards, 37 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He also, obviously, with our game, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then, you know what? If we did go to the Baltimore Ravens playbook, you'd probably expect similar numbers like that through the sim. Big year from Dameon Pearson again, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. On the receiving front, 12-9 for Mechie, 12-9 for Brandon Cooks, 11-12 for the freak athlete tight end Gavin. We keep talking about the quarterback here. We got to remember, Gavin Payne came out started out, which kind of stings, but 6'6", 243, 90 speed, 91 acceleration, already up to 95 catching with all our boost. This guy's going to be an absolute, what a golden generation of a draft class here that we just pulled for the Houston Texans. Ross Gilmore, our linebacker, led the team rookie, 129 tackles, 7 TFLs, 3 interceptions. He was also hidden dev, and of course, popped as a star. I mean, I can't... Does seem like when you get like the freaky good guys, they don't usually have above a star dev. John Grenard, 10 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 9.5 sacks. Okoronkwo, I'd like to see a little bit more pass rush there. Maybe that's what we look at for the draft. Taking a look here at the yearly awards. Last year we were the top 5 offense. Literally 5th, this year 3rd. So we're taking steps forward. Again, I don't know from the Mulligan game that we played. I do know scramble quarterbacks, dual threat quarterbacks do tend to get that added boost in the MVP race. But, you know, I don't care. Even if there's an asterisk next to that because we did have 5 rushing touchdowns. If we didn't have that game, I don't know if he would have got it. It just fills the narrative that this is the unicorn player winning MVP as a rookie. That's absolutely, I mean, hell yeah, man. That's all you can freaking ask for. Offensive player of the year goes to Taekwon. So we know we got to go up to superstar dev, which is awesome. But what's going to be very important is that, you know, we're not going to be able to hop in and play one game and juice his numbers. If he's going to be able to do that next year, it's going to be very important. Or is he going to regress down to the mean? And he's going to be one of those guys that gets, you know, 30, 31 touchdowns, 12, 13 picks, and it's just kind of average. I'm not expecting the same rushing numbers unless we just really right now, maybe I will. Maybe this offseason we will switch to that Ravens playbook. Just because, why not? I don't want to hinder this quarterback any. We need to maximize his strengths. So maybe that's what we'll look at doing. But I mean, and Ross Gilmore, defensive rookie of the year, best QB Taekwon Adams. I mean, the legend of Taekwon Adams just is building here a little bit. What's going to be more important is because we know if he can do this now when we're not, you know, hopping in, trying to get him dev traits, if he can just straight up play that in sim, that's going to make him a true legend. Right now, he's just kind of a C4, made this guy really good. Can him, under his own wings, under his own power, turn himself into a legend to close out this rebuild and bring a Super Bowl to the Houston Texans? We're going to find out. But let's do that right now, man. We're going to switch here to the Baltimore Ravens. How do I do that? The Baltimore Ravens. Right now, we're West Coast power run, Tampa 2 defense. It's David Culley. We don't even have the right freaking head coach, so I'm not going to be too critical on keeping it super realistic on that front. But let's go offensive playbook. We're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens, which is power run West Coast. It's literally the exact same. Maybe that's why. Maybe we're going to have a little bit more QB runs here. But, all right. Also, let's draft a fullback. Let's get a really good fullback here in the draft. And let's see if we can truly have a guy. Let's eliminate the Lamar Jackson. I said that. I apologize for saying that. I don't want him to be Lamar Jackson 2.0. I want him to be Taekwon, whatever his fucking name is. Taekwon Lewis. Is that his name? I gotta get this name right, because this guy's gonna be a freaking legend if he keeps playing like this. We're gonna make Taekwon Adams one of one. The next Taekwon Adams. So, taking a look here, obviously, we got the MVP award, so that's gonna be, what, 4, 5, 6 points. Ross Gilmore with his defensive rookie there. We'll pump that points there into pass coverage. Really want him to keep getting those interceptions from the middle of our defense. But you can only go up one dev trait. Obviously, if this was real life and a rookie won, you know, offensive player of the year, MVP, you would probably go up more than just one dev trait. But that's all you can get here. We just might as well spend our points in improviser, because if we can continue to grow and develop, if he can continue to grow and develop, we obviously want to get him escape artist, because until he gets escape artist, we're not really going to truly see what that 95 speed can do in open space, just because the animations and stuff like that behind the line of scrimmage. But with all these points going right into improviser, you get that at 90 once you're an X Factor. So we are very, very close to that. And as you know, that's just the. It also works out that is the scheme fit that we need to look for this offense here in Houston. But look at that, Taekwon Adams, superstar, 85, 97 throw power, 94 throw on the run, 95 speed. Oh my God, what an unicorn! It's a unicorn. Take a look at the rest of our team just to see if there's any other devs. Nothing else on offense. And on the defensive side, Blake Cashman is up to superstar. Gilmore, who was a star dev, because of defensive. I don't even know if it's because defensive rookie of the year. It's probably just because he's an outside linebacker and those guys go up devs a lot. And we'll just give credits due for Madden. Defensive rookie of the year, superstar dev. That's probably how it should be 9 times out of 10. I will take that. So for a free agent period, the good news is that we're going to spend maybe the most money I've ever spent in an offseason. The bad news is I don't know if I'm going to get them all. So we got Brian Burns. We need pass rush help. I suppose John Grenard. Elton Jenkins, because a lot of our offensive line we let hit the open market, and he's easily the best upgrade. Darnell Savage, because we kicked him to strong safety. And then Alec Ingold, because if we're going with the Ravens playbook, you kind of need a fullback. So if we get all these guys, that's like we're spending Jacksonville Jaguar free agency money. But we also have $132 million worth of salary cap. So why, there's no point of holding on to the money. So I have no idea. If we get all these ones rejected, we got everyone except Darnell Savage. Not bad. We got a pass rusher now, premier pass rusher. We have one of the best offensive line, one of the most versatile offensive linemen in the NFL, and we got one of the best fullbacks in Madden. All right, we have a top pick. This is not going to be a sexy selection, but as we pick at number 8, we need interior offensive line, and I've kind of narrowed it down to 2 players that look like they're going to be fairly decent. Chance Southward, the guard at the UCLA combine, looks pretty good. Wish we had a little bit more information on him, because we have nada. And we also have Rob Jordan here out of Washington State. We have the C impact block, but the combine also is very good. I think we'll go with, just saying Southward. Then again, we get a little bit more size with Jordan, give us a little more versatility to kick around, but we don't need tackles. We need a guard. So I'm going to go currently with the highest rated guard. Sucks going for a top 8 pick like this, top 10 pick going on the interior offensive line, but our current starting guard's like a 51 overall. So you kind of got to pull the trigger here, and he is hidden dev. So I'll take that. Next up looks like one of those players that would have been in the draft last year. Sheldon Poe. We have obviously pick number 8 in the second round. And strong safety, much like interior offensive line, is an absolute must-need in position for us. So hopefully we get the dev trait, but the combine is exceptional. Top 40-yard dash, broad, 3-cone, 20-yard, all those things are S tier. It's what you want. So we got normal dev, but he's probably going to be like at least, I would say, 70, 71, somewhere in that range. All right, so I hate the trade system in this game because it's kind of all or nothing. I couldn't even hype up the trade because I didn't know if it was going to go through. But I did trade my 4th, 5th, and 6th round pick to get up into the 3rd round to get the last offensive lineman that was looked like he was pretty good. The combine was on point. It was Doug Smith. So we doubled up in the 3rd round and we got a hidden dev tackle. Thank God. All right, draft recap time. Did get a couple hidden dev players, get a couple normal devs. We're hoping the rating looks good, and that is almost another. We're barely getting by the skin of our teeth here with 270s, but all 70-plus draft, which has been, we've been on a roll drafting here, man. It seems, again, I'm not going to be like, guys, I'm gonna make a guide that you have to see if you play Madden 22 still. It's simple. You just go off the combine for the most part. But I'm happy with the picks here. We got Rayshon Wilbon. I don't think a computer make that pick. My draft board was shot after I traded all my picks. We got Doug Smith, 70 hidden dev. Andrew Albert is 70 normal. I'll take, it is what it is. Sheldon Poe, 75 with the normal. Doesn't like being here, though. -2 hit to the confidence there, but great athlete. And I feel like a guy, again, normal dev. Yeah, we'll throw him to the Wolves, let him start as a rookie, maybe gets a dev trade scenario. Well, the big pick was Southward, going top 10, getting that interior lineman that is going to play alongside Kenyon Green. And he looks like a hell of a player. Very well rounded. No real weakness. I love the fact that he's hidden dev. 2 hidden dev linemen. I will take that. All right, year 3 for the Texans. A quick look at our lineup. Very, very pressure cook type situation here for Adam. Because last year, I don't know if he gets the MVP. If it wasn't for that game, then we hopped in to get his dev. Does it? He might still. But, that's still what? We had 5 touchdowns. He probably doesn't. So now this is going to be from 3, 4, 5. It's going to be all on him. Is he going to take the next step? Is he going to be able to earn that X factor? Is he going to be able to be a escape riders quarterback? Or did we kind of plateau when we were really hands-on with his development in year 2? That is something we got to wait and see. For the rest of the offense here, one thing we didn't mention, John Mechie went up dev trait last season, so that's pretty cool. Helps this out. The Canadian on the offensive line. As you can see, new players. We got Albert playing at left guard there. Smith moved him at center. Southward at right guard. And then we got Elton Jenkins, who we paid big, top-tier dollar on the offensive line there at tackle. Let me just make sure this is actually my best lineup here. Because I was like, there we go. Kendrick Green. There we go. Tunsil Green, that's all going to be an entire dev trait offensive line. Skill position players are the same from last year. Flipping to the defensive side of things, we paid, again, elite top-tier money to bring in Brian Burns. That was about $140 million in that range. Absurd amount of money. I need production because our sack numbers have been kind of low so far in this rebuild. Rest of the team is very familiar. Cashman, superstar. Gilmore, who we drafted last year as a rookie, up to a superstar after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Poe, who was our second round pick, even though he's normal dev, gets the opportunity to start at strong safety. And I'm going to continue to look at Pitre and Derek Stingley, really the bells of the ball from the 2022 NFL draft class for the Texans, to take another step up in their game here in year 3. All right, a little bit of a rough year, moving to a brand new playbook seems to not, can we beat the 1-7 Panthers? It's not been good though, man. We're losing a lot of games. Hey, we get a nice little W there. Let's take a look at our contracts. Again, we spent a lot of money in free agency, but we still have I think we're going to be very much in a situation where we re-sign any and everybody that we would like to. We have a lot of guys set to become free agents. All right, we'll prioritize guys here. First up, we got John Mechie. Let's give him somewhere like a 5-year deal. Look at that. We have $160 million with the salary cap, on top of the fact that we're not going to have to pay our quarterback at all during this rebuild. So it gives us a little bit more luxury to pretty much just re-sign any and all, because there's going to be no $100 million contract on the book. So let's get Kenyon Green locked up here. I mean, all these guys are buying in, even though it's a little bit of a down year this year. Damian Pierce, who's been awesome for us in this rebuild. We got Derek Stingley. Give him 5 years, 39. All very reasonable deals. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Cooks, we're probably going to be better wide receivers on the open market. Tunsil is going to be the most expensive guy. Also, I need to show you something. I saw this just when I was spending upgrade points. We had two hidden dev linemen, 3 hidden dev linemen. Well, we took a tackle that we traded for. I moved him to center, and he's a freaking superstar. Everyone else was a star dev, but Doug Smith out of Oklahoma, he's the tackle we traded back into the 3rd round to get. Superstar. They exist. Superstar linemen in drafts. That's pretty cool. Southward, the guy that we took in the top 10, is just a star dev, but that's pretty freaking cool, man. We'll take that. I'm going back. We were losing a bunch of games, and I just took a look at our stats. Gotta remember, we've had top 10 quarterback stats. Moved to the Ravens playbook. Adams is now 29th in yards, 12 fucking touchdowns. He won the MVP last year. What do we got? Not even ridiculous rushing numbers. So that has drastically stunted my team. Making the decision to go to the Baltimore Ravens offensive playbook has cost us a season here in year 3. So we are going to go back to whatever the hell David Culley's playbook was, because that was working better. I mean, we stayed in the exact same scheme too, which is what's kind of frustrating, but the Ravens playbook did not translate. Maybe that's just even more proof that our quarterback's his own man. He's not Lamar Jackson 2.0. Let's just see, after switching back to our playbook, we have 4 wins on the season. Let's see if we can get any wins here. It's not looking very good. Just a god-awful season. Hey, look, we beat the Bengals, though. Gives you an idea. We put up 35 points against the Bengals, who are perennial playoff contenders here. Oh, yeah. We're sticking with the Texans playbook from here on out. So we won 3 of our last 4 after switching back to the Texans playbook. Rightfully punished, man. We shouldn't have done that. We had no real reason outside of just thinking our guy's Lamar to make that. We literally won the MVP, We're good. Live and learn. Take a look at the stats here. Adams finished the season. I mean, those are just really disappointing passing numbers. 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns for Pierce. He had almost 700 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. On the receiving front, 1,000 yards for Mechie. 20 yards shy of 1,000 for Cooks. Collins and Payne, solid, I guess. Harris had a whole bunch of plays for us. He might be going up dev trade, of course, because he's the only guy I didn't really look at re-signing from that first big group of pending free agents. So we'll probably have to give Harris a new contract. 6 interceptions for Stingley. Love seeing that kind of production there. But all in all, man, just a very, very disappointing season. I don't think we're going to have anybody even close. I mean, when Taylor Heineke's winning the MVP, it's just a complete write-off of a year. Let's get to the offseason and gear up for year 4. Looking at our team as we close things out outside of the fact that we did draft a superstar. We had one depth trait increase on the defensive side, and it is actually, sorry, I take that back. We have 2. Derek Stingley is now up to a superstar lockdown corner. I mean, we started this video saying, should Stingley get a superstar in Madden 23 as a rookie? And then Gilmore, who went up superstar for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in year 2, closes things out as a superstar X Factor. For free agency here, pretty disappointing free agency period, to be completely honest with you. Not a lot of big names, even though we had a lot of money to spend, so I'm going to bring back Brandon Cooks. I'm going to try to, and he was just on a 1 year. He's 30. I don't want to give him 4. And, you know, that's kind of just where I'm at. His regression's going to hit. I got a kicker, and I'm going to bring in another Canadian on the defensive line. All right, here we go. This is not only going to be my draft pick, but this is going to be 100% proof. I've never actually got a guy like that looks like this. I've had like some guys that day 3, that when they're scouted, they come out like first, second round talent, and then they come up being like a 66 or something like that. But technically, like a 66 overall in the second round, like it's not lying. But this one here, we have Trevon Rayford. I kind of do need a wide receiver. We only got Brandon Cooks back in the 1 year. He's legit round 1 talent. It doesn't look amazing. The deep right around there. I mean, he's a slot guy, right? So maybe that makes sense. He is a top fit for our team. But the combat doesn't look bad, really. Everything outside of the 40 looks good. So my board kind of sucks right now. This is the guy we're going, and we'll be able to see just for a fact, when you scout and it gives you a talent, is it true or is it a troll? Because I feel like the last time I made something like this, it wasn't really that good of a player. So, I mean, normal dev, a little bit of a lame duck pick from that. So I'm expecting if you get that legit, it could be 70 plus. All right, so take a look at draft recap time. Again, I want to see at least 70 plus on that wide receiver. And he's 74. You know? I think you can trust when you scout a guy, if they're first rounder, they're first rounder. 74 is not bad. Not exactly what we were looking for, but it's not bad. I got a 70 overall DN. I got a hidden dev, one lone hidden dev in this draft. Dimitri Cunningham, the D tackle here out of Wisconsin. It is a position that we do, you know, kind of need some depth behind Malik Collins, and maybe, you know, Cunningham in between this year and next year can develop into a guy. Got a 70 corner here in the 4th round. But it was only a matter of time until our draft luck of just hitting home run after home run after home run pick, which is, you know what, every draft so far in this rebuild to this point, it was going to end eventually. And even then, we still got, you know, a couple good players. Okay, at midway point, year 4, 7-4. Very competitive AFC South. 2nd place in the division, tied for 1st. Let's take a look at our contracts here. I'm glad that going back to the Texas playbook seems to be working out for our squad. These are, again, we just have an absurd amount of salary cap. It's ridiculous. So we're going to be able to pretty much re-sign any and everybody that we want, and also probably sign any free agent that we want. So at this point, I mean, we'll bring back Cashman. He does have that superstar dev. He shouldn't face any terms of, you know, regression or anything crazy like that. You know what, Nico Collins, I feel like this is just purely luxury. He's been solid for us. Sneaky solid. Guy that gets you 700-800 yards. Why not? Let's have that depth there. And again, we'll maybe show a little bit of disrespect to Brandon Cooks, just because I think there might be a big fish at that wide receiver market in this last free agency period. And it'd be annoying to have Cooks pay him now and then want to pay another wide receiver on the open market. Oh, no. That Week 18 game was for the division. Colts beat us. We still make the playoffs, 11-6. That was annoying. It would have been, you know, even though there's no bonus points for winning the division. It always just feels good in a rebuild when you win the division. It's the first of many on a checklist of success. But hey, shout out to the Colts, Week 18. They had a big dub there. We made the playoffs too, so that's not that bad. Let's take a look at our squad here. Big picture. Not seeing anybody from us, so is what it is. Adams was yards not great. Touchdowns phenomenal. 37 touchdowns, 15 picks. Why are playbooks so heavily... it's annoying. Either way, David Pierce, that's been what he just does. He gets 15 plus touchdowns every year. He goes over 1,000 yards every year. We have no 1,000-yard receivers, but we're pretty close on 3. Defensively, Gilmore, phenomenal. 6 interceptions, 124 tackles. You know, what a pick. What a pick, that guy. Almost as good as the quarterback. Maybe even better. 11 sacks, Grenard, 11 Brian Burns. And the interceptions are pretty good, man. Really, really happy with these numbers. Taking a quick look at the yearly awards. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year went to T.J. Watt. I don't know if we're going to see any Texans here. Fortunately not. But you think we care? You think we really care? We made the playoffs. It is time to go handle business against the Patriots and go on a little bit of a run here. This is our first playoff run, I feel like, right? So I don't know. Could be one and done. Could set up everything just to be panicky and sign everybody in free agency. But we get the dub, and then we get to take on the cheat code to just see how legit we are. But that's a lot of points, man. 42-13. For a debut playoff game, Tyquan Adams passes with flying colors. 263, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Dameon Pierce absolutely crushed it on the ground. Defensively, we got after the quarterback a little bit. We got some turnovers a little bit. That feels pretty good, but everything is fun and games till you take the Kansas City Chiefs on in the playoffs. Really, if you win this one, if you don't win the Super Bowl, there's something wrong. So in the divisional playoff, I don't even want to look at that. Go to year 5. We know what's going to happen. You beat the Chiefs 2 out of 10 times, maybe. Given it's our last free agency period, we're going to spend. We're going to spend as much money as it takes. It's going to be realistic to the extent that I'm not signing everybody, because if I wanted to, I literally could put in an offer on every single player that's an upgrade. Like I could bring in Creed Humphrey, I could bring in Trey Smith, I could probably bring in Michael Thomas or Greg Newsome. So I'm going to keep some realism to it, that I'm going to get some secondary options. But Bolton, why not? We're going to grab him, going to try to move him to middle linebacker. Smith, we need a wide receiver 1. But there's some other options at corner. I just really want J.C. Horn. He's still a very good corner. Would be a nice corner 2 for us. Chuba Hubbard for RB2 depth, just because, maybe we'll get a little bit of that pink slips of magic. And I'm going to bring back Breven Jordan as a backup tight end, just because he's one of the guys that started on this roster. So I could go even crazier. Again, like I'm looking at it, I really do think Greg Newsome would be pretty awesome to get. But again, it's not really a realistic rebuild if I'm straight up signing 8 top-tier free agents. This is borderline. But this is also, I think this is, somewhat representative of a team that has money that wants to go in, right? You get 3 guys. 2 guys on defense, a playmaker on offense. And let's see if we can attract them to come here to the project here in Houston. Are you fucking kidding me? I offered so much more money on Bolton and Devontae Smith. Oh my God. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to hit him hard. We're going to go just with the 2 biggest upgrades. One is Michael Thomas. If we don't get him, I'm going to be a little bit worried about our wide receiver room. And then I'm going to look at Justin Simmons, and more so, we'll get him and then kick Jalen Pitre to strong safety. And beautiful, we get the veterans that want to come on, which is, I guess, in itself, kind of realistic. If you're looking to get over the hump here, usually you end up doing that by getting, proven veterans. And that's what we did. Michael Thomas and Justin Simmons, welcome to Houston. Man, honestly, for the draft, I'm straight up in, best player. And we got a safety here that looks like maybe I can move into linebacker. Because really the only upgrade would be maybe looking at that middle linebacker spot where we wanted Nick Bolton and we didn't get him. And Zimmer, 6'2", 220, that is a linebacker build in today's NFL, and the combine is absolutely exceptional. So we're going to select Josh Zimmer, safety out of Georgia. Maybe a linebacker out of Georgia. All right, so here's a look at our draft recap. And boy, oh boy, did we make the right call, I think, making that safety pick. Josh Zimmer, 77 hidden dev. One of our best picks of a rebuild that had a lot of great picks, even though that guy looks straight up hideous. And why is that a face scan? This guy looks like an absolute animal, and we'll find the best way to get him on the field. Rest of the draft, we get a couple 70s. Everyone else is just normal dev. But when you go into year 5, anytime you get a play like this, you got to try to find a way to get him on the field and make an impact as we try to go Super Bowl or bust here in year 5 with the Houston Texans. So for year 5, this is our Houston Texans squad. The O-line, we got Tunsil, Kenyon Green, brought in Elton Jenkins, Southward, and the superstar Smith, as well as our freaking natured Payne, tight end, 6'6", 90-plus speed. Dameon Pierce has been super consistent throughout this rebuild. We brought in Michael Thomas to see if he could be a needle mover. Mechie has been pretty much copy and paste for 1,000 yards. And we have the greatest quarterback that I've drafted in Madden 22, bar none, in Tyquan Adams, winning the MVP as a rookie, coming out of the draft straight up 95 speed, 95 throw power. And now that we're back in the Houston Texans playbook, I think he's going to have a big year. On the defensive side, this is where we get a little bit creative. The front 4 remains pretty much the same here. Brian Burns, Neville Gallimore, Collins, and Grenard. The linebacker core shuffled around a little bit. We're going to go Gilmore, Cashman and Harris, I'm going to go with Cashman just because he has the abilities. And I moved Jalen Pitre from safety to linebacker. We gave Justin Simmons a free safety spot, and we're going to go with Zimmer, who we just drafted. What if he's a superstar? What if he's an X factor? You want to have that out on the field. Derek Stingley's also a superstar. We brought in J.C. Horn in free agency. Des King. This is the best that this team has looked at any point during this rebuild. So I'm firmly expecting not only an AFC South title, but to go on a deep playoff run, if not to outright win the Super Bowl here in year 5. All right, we're at our bye week, and just to let everybody know before I lose my fucking mind, we're 2-4. 2-4. Just narrate this. You guys are going to experience as I experience it. We're swimming right to the playoffs. If we miss the playoffs, you know, we're probably due. We've won what? Feels like 2, 3, 4 Super Bowls in a row. But of course, the one time that we get feel really good about the team, they do enough to make the playoffs. Thank God. We actually almost came back to win the division, and right out of the gate, we get to see. How many games did we win, man? We were what? We were not very good. That's all I know. That's all you need to know. We were not very good. I rolled my eyes and was like, we're not doing shit. And look at the win streak. Jesus Christ. Okay. This team would not be denied. Got some big victories in there. Second place. Didn't get the divisional title. We made the playoffs. That's kind of all that matters. Let's take a very quick look at the stats here. Look at the big picture. I'm not seeing any of our dudes. That's fine. I'm going to assume, 35 touchdowns. 31 for Tyquan Adams. Not the baller year that we're kind of hoping for, but wasn't a bad season. Dameon Pierce, very good in this rebuild. Love seeing that. 1,005 for Mechie. 1,011 for Nico Collins. Triple H's there for Gavin Payne. And on the defensive side of the ball, Gilmore continues to be an absolute monster. I mean, again, I think when all is said and done, when you look at the stats, that Gilmore guy, the same draft as our quarterback, you know, it might be 1A, 1B for who the better of the two players was. But that was one of my best drafts. That's an all-time Madden rebuild draft to get a unicorn quarterback prospect and then get a linebacker that has 9 picks in 2 years and has gone up to an X factor. That is pretty dang ridiculous. A very quick look here at the yearly awards. Lamar Jackson is the Lions quarterback, and he wins the MVP. Tyquan Adams coming in number 10 for the MVP. At least we had that first MVP award. Again, now that we have seen it, though, there's an asterisk. I'm putting a personal asterisk because of that one game that we hopped in and got him 5 freaking rushing touchdowns. Number 8 for Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Just looking for Texans here as we go through this pretty quickly. And unfortunately, there's not much there. So the only thing we had to play for, individual success, wasn't quite there, is to go on a legitimate Super Bowl run here. And first thing is first, we get to find out right away who the best team is in the AFC South as the Texans take on the Jaguars. One thing I didn't see, I don't know if the Chiefs made the playoffs this year. They did not. Of course, I don't think they made the playoffs this year. Oh, actually, they just had the first round bye. So, here's hoping the Ravens win there so that we don't have to play the Chiefs in the second round, because that would be, that'd be not cool. But then again, I didn't even think we were going to make the playoffs this year, so we might not be able to get past the hurdle, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we do, but we earn the right to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's never really a fun time. But we actually kicked the crap out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 42-21. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception for Tyquan Adams. 2 touchdowns on the ground, Dameon Pierce. And on the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Pitre had an interception. Couple sacks. Derek Stingley with the pick. And we earned the right to just lose to the Chiefs. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Just to see if it does anything different. Probably doesn't. Let's just play the moments here. I'm not actually going to play the moments. I might, if things get a little shady. But I just want to see if you have a better chance taking down the Kansas City Chiefs when you do it this way versus going in and just straight up simming them. But you know what's not going to be good is going to the red zone and kicking a field goal. But you know what is good? We have them to 0 points into the second half, it looks like. Oh, no, then they just go all the way down the field in less than a second and get a field goal. But we also get a score there. We're up 10. Holy shit, we might have figured out how to beat the Chiefs. When you roll the Chiefs, because everyone knows there's probably different algorithms under the hood or whatever, like straight up simming a game versus playing the moments. It's probably some sort of different X's and O's, numbers, ones and zeros. If you want to beat the Chiefs from now on, when we're doing an AFC rebuild, which I don't even think we have any AFC rebuilds left. We got to do the Niners, the Cardinals, and the Eagles. But just FYI for you guys, if you roll the Chiefs and you're doing a sim type franchise, play the moments against the Chiefs because it gives you a chance. Great game, 450 yards throwing, 3 touchdowns, 72% completion percentage for Tyquan Adams, $135 for Michael Thomas as the Texans down the Chiefs and go to the AFC Championship game. I'm still in utter shock that we're able to get that victory. So now we have the conference championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett, they're pretty damn good. 88 overall. We're only a 90 overall. But I almost feel like that Chiefs victory, that's our Super Bowl. If we don't actually, we do. I don't even care that we win the Super Bowl. We just beat the freaking Chiefs in the sim. That's really what it all amounts to. 35-28. Let's take a look at that matchup here. And sets up a game against the 49ers. Actually, the team we still have yet to rebuild. I like seeing that they're going on runs. Maybe that'll be another one that we could toss up as a rebuild that we're expected to win a Super Bowl, unlike this one with the Texans, where we obviously had a lot of work to do. Adams was good. Kenny Pickett was not good. That probably is all you need to see from the tail of the tape there. Chuba Hubbard had the hat trick, 3 rushing touchdowns. Big game from Nico Collins. And on the defensive side of the ball, no sacks, no interceptions. A clean game from Kenny Pickett. Too bad he couldn't do a goddamn thing. So the 6th seed Houston Texans are in the Super Bowl in year 5. Is it going to be a Cinderella Super Bowl, or the 49ers, who are, they were a legit seed in the NFC, are they going to humble us and knock us back down a peg? Let's go into the Super Bowl. All right, let's go, boys. Super Bowl time. Niners versus the Unicorn. And the opening score goes to the Texans, but the Niners get a touchdown there. Trey Lance doing the thing. Oh, no. This is looking potentially rough. 2 field goals. 3 field goals. Can we buy a touchdown? Can we hold them to a field goal? Like, we're just getting field goals. They're getting touchdowns. We do get a touchdown there in the 3rd quarter, but our defense, not super up to the task. But if we can get a stop here, all we need is one chance. A $1.43. If we get a moment, we'll hop in. 4th down. What is it? 4th and 3 on the 27. Our 27. 1 timeout remaining. Gotta have it. Wish Michael Thomas was in the slant. Maybe we'll just go Nico Collins. Maybe we'll tuck it and run. Oh my God. When you got that speed, you gotta kind of just use your speed. And we outrun Bosa. We get the 1st down. Do we have another opportunity? 3rd down. Oh my God. They're in the red zone. They get the touchdown! Oh my God, my daughter's sleeping. Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go. Last drive. I gotta see who got that touchdown. You gotta assume it was the QB. That wasn't like a Dameon Pierce touchdown. That is as razor close as you can get it. And that's another successful rebuild in the books, baby. Adams, unicorn quarterback, gets the job done over Trey Lance. We'll be seeing the Niners rebuild before too long. But that is absolutely the kind of result we needed. Look at that touch, that Adams. 18, my God. Legend. Until I see something, until someone tags me on Twitter. I mean, I'm putting this up today. I'm recording this. Jesus Christ, it's almost 3 o'clock. All right, this might be up a little bit late on Saturday. But unless someone, I think that's a 1-of-1 type role of a quarterback prospect. And I'm very, very happy that we're able, when all is said and done, to win a Super Bowl. Wasn't a clean game, but 324, 3 touchdowns. John Mechie going over 100 yards. You got to feel pretty good about this one. Going down as a successful Super Bowl winning rebuild for the Houston Texans. So as always, guys, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.